We're
I don't know what
back.
I'm. Oh, we're back. Okay, my bad.
We're
I
back.
didn't know
Ken's
what you
supposed
wanted
to
me to say,
keep.
dog.
Hey, we'll get it. We'll get it. We're gonna get there eventually. We're gonna get there eventually. Whatever. What? Whoa. All right. Well, what? What? Whoa. Hello, everyone. We're here. Me and Ken with another episode. Ken, is there a lot of snow where you're at right now?
No, not at all.
Really? We got a bunch. We got like 4 inches yesterday, and it just kept coming down. It was
There's
pretty
nothing
bad.
on the road right now. I'm looking outside, and then there's a dusting on my car, which I'm also looking directly at outside.
Lucky you, brother. My car
Yep.
is full of my car's iced up and it's trash, but that's all right. But hey guys, yeah, we're gonna talk about the UFC card that happened this weekend, and we're also gonna talk about some of the UFC news. We obviously have some big things we're gonna hit on, the like the Netflix card and things like that. But first, let's start with this UFC card. So we had Emmett versus Vallejos this weekend. Ken, what did you think about the card? Give me an overall opinion on it.
Pretty bad, honestly. There's like three or four finishes, like a lot of unanimous decisions. So like it's not even like they were like competitive fights. They were one-sided fights that lasted the entire time. There's one fight where somebody got taken down like 20 times.
Yeah, I have to agree. It was a very mid card. I would give it probably like a 6.5 out of 10. Um, I would say the biggest thing that we realized from this card is who needs to retire. Um, I think that's kind of what they did for this card is let's get all the people that we need to get out to get them out because some of the highlights of the people that need to retire. Let's talk about them. We obviously have Brad Tavares. He should retire. He lost Anders. Great job, Eric Anders.
He
Sorry to
should
tell you,
retire
buddy,
as
but
well.
you should retire too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude, I think that fight was
uh,
supposed to happen like last year or something, and one of them
yeah,
got injured.
yeah. They just kept it rolling because they knew it would be like both of their last fights. Let's just wait till it happens.
Yeah.
Um, who else do we have here? Let's see.
Before you go on, do you think like obviously they're two journeymen that never really sniffed a title shot. Do you think the UFC should have like a just like a legends division where just like old guys that don't want to retire should just keep fighting and they only fight each other so they don't get sparked by like a hot up and coming prospect? Like
It's funny.
I didn't mind that fight. I mean, it was boring, but like, you know, let them fight if they want to fight and then like under the
Yeah,
UFC and then just put them on the prelims, you know?
yeah. It's kind of like I feel like the only person that is getting older and getting easier matchups for some reason is Michael Chiesa. I feel like every time he fights, who he's fighting is getting worse. Like he must have some dirt on the UFC
He
because
might.
they're giving him some
It's
easy matchups.
when Connor threw the dolly and sliced open his eye, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's why
yeah.
he
He
has on the UFC.
he just keeps
He's like,
getting all the
"Hey,
bad fights.
I won't sue you guys, but in the future you got to give me easy fights." And they're like,
Yeah,
"Okay, we can do
everything
that."
easy. Um, but even then, like it kind of goes on to like a lot of the careers that kind of got like ended by you know good good young prospects. It's hard, obviously, when you're a champion though. Like when Volk got sparked by Ilya, that kind of just happens. But like you said, I'd rather see like it sucks though because when Anthony Smith choked out Vitor Petrino, I was hype. Like when they unk check him, it's so good though. That is good. Like what
It is,
like
but I feel like they
it
could
doesn't
do
happen
that
all
with
the
like
time.
someone else, you know?
Like do it with Anthony Smith now. Like we
No,
can
but not Anthony
Lionheart,
Smith.
baby. Lionheart.
No, like dude,
But we
Frankie
also
Edgar and Sanhagen,
Yep.
Edgar getting kneed in the face, dude.
Oh
Like
yeah, so true.
Frankie Edgar should have been fighting someone like around the same his same age. Like, don't give him the Corey Sanhagen, dude.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of doing the same thing with Beneil.
Yeah,
I mean, Beneil was. I think he was booked against a killer, and then they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna forget about that fight," and then they booked him against Quill and Sackhill.
yeah,
Like, yeah, but yeah. Also, even, I mean, Andre's got to go. Andre Feely should probably retire here. I know it was a split
yeah.
decision, but he should go. Amanda Lemos, say goodbye. You know.
She just fought for the title not that long ago.
That's all right. See ya. You know? And that's another thing I want to talk about later with the title shots. A really big thing I want to talk about. And then Josh Emmett, of course, buddy, pack your bags, go fight fish with Bryce or something because it's, you know, you're done too. But no, this is one thing I want to say about title shots because you just kind of said this. Because I was watching a video about Armin the other day, and it's kind of interesting. Like the title shots are so unfair. Like they're so not earned. Like Justin Gaethje gets a title shot off of one knockout win off of who do he beat the knockout win he had right before the Ilya fight. Who was it?
Was that a knockout win? I thought he
Or
was
he
it
no he who do you
Rafael
win?
Fiziev.
Yeah, he beat Rafael Fiziev by decision. Yeah, and he gets a title shot off that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or even like Cyril has the unlimited titles glitch. Um, who else, who's the other guy that has the unlimited titles glitch? What is
Diego
it?
Lopez, dude.
Diego Lopez. And let's be honest, Sean's starting to get up there. Sean's starting to get up there.
Well, Sean did beat Imolov, and then
Yeah, he
he
did beat
is like the number
and
one
he beat
contender right now.
yeah. So he's probably the most deserving of them. But some of the title shots that people get are so undeserving. It's crazy.
Well,
But
speaking of
I
that, did
wouldn't
you see during the lawsuit, whenever the UFC had to pay like all that money out, um, they were asked about the titles, and they said that the titles aren't actually like don't really mean anything, and
yeah.
like they just give it to the guy that wins the fight that night.
Yeah.
That's why they're so okay just stripping and making interim championships and stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
legally the titles like mean nothing. It's
Yeah.
like a
And I don't
fucking
know if you
trophy.
yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but at the end of the day, it's all about money too. And like as a champion, there should be not a significant, but there should be a difference, right? Like, because now you don't make pay-per-view points because there's no pay-per-view. So it's all based on contracts, I believe. That's why I don't know if you saw it, but that's kind of why when Alex was talking to Ariel, I don't know if you saw the clip, but he was saying that he just signed a new 8-fight deal and he told them, I don't care what you do, just book me fights. I don't care if it's title fights or whatnot, is pretty much what he was saying. And at the end of the day, they're probably just taking care of him so good with the finances. Being the champion does not matter to like the people who are getting paid. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's kind of weird though, because I feel like you didn't get that money until you became the champion, you know?
Yeah.
But now
But
I feel like
at the same time though, you don't get any money if you're not fighting, which is
that's
like
true.
you can run into that with like Aljamain Sterling where he's been inactive right now and he's like, come on, give me a fight. Like I'm gonna fight. And like he's not
Yeah.
making any money at all. And
Do
like I
you
feel like the
think?
UFC sometimes just holds people hostage, like with these
Yeah.
8 fight contracts. Like some fighters, I think I heard DJ talk about some fighters putting like, I want 2 fights per year, and like that counts towards my contract. You need to offer me at least 2 fights per year, and if you don't, then like it counts towards my contract. So like people aren't, contracted by the UFC for 20 years. They like are in and out in like 4 years if it's an 8 fight contract.
Yeah. Do you think that the UFC, like for instance, Alex, do you think that they strategically, like, even though it does upset the fighters, because you kind of had Aljamain talk about it when he was kind of going through the thing of saying, like, I just want to fight. Um, do you think that they do actively, like, strategically say, like, we want him for like 6 years? Let's stretch these fights out like really long. Like, I
Maybe.
mean, it's just so weird to think because it's like you got to think Connor's still under his deal. Alex 8 fights. That's a long time. John is technically still John. Now, how does that work when you like retired? If John retires and he comes back to fighting, is he still under the UFC's contract?
Yeah, actually, so I listened to the podcast. It was DJ and Luke Thomas, and DJ said like he retired from one championship, and if he comes back, he that's why he can't like come back and fight anyone in the UFC. That's why when Pantoja called him out, he's like, "Dude, I'm retired. Plus, if I came back, I'm still under contract from one championship. Like I can't even fight you. And then one championship, when they made the trade with the UFC, if he gets out of his one championship contract, then UFC has like first dibs on him for
Oh, they
like
like,
fights.
yeah,
So like he's trapped under two umbrellas actually,
that's
which is kind of
crazy.
yeah. But like John, he's still contracted. Like Ronda somehow got out of hers. Like I think when she went to the WWE, like they did something and just like released her of her UFC contract because
Yeah,
she was still under like the TKO banner. So
right.
like it was
I
kind of
also
like
think
similar.
I also think during Ronda that was kind of like the end of where they just released fighters and the beginning of when they realized they could take advantage of fighters.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, you're so right. I think that it's also very hard for fighters to like shoot up their name too if they can't jump and do these. If they're say they're in one league and then they're locked down in that league like an umbrella, they obviously can't go to the UFC to do these things. Do you think that the UFC will eventually put no RAF and none of the like other things like that in the contracts?
No, I think well Dana came out and said like he doesn't really care about that stuff. It's just no striking at all. So like if there's anything with any kind of striking, they can't do it. So like
Yeah.
wrestling's fine, grappling's fine because like you see Armin at the Brazilian grappling thing, he grappled
Yeah.
um somebody who did the Russian guy
Yeah, I forget his name, but we all know what
yeah,
happened.
Makayev or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah, yeah, he
he
just
grappled
submitted him.
him.
Yeah, he submitted him.
Yeah, so like they don't have any issues with any kind of like grappling or wrestling stuff. It's just if it's any kind of striking. That's why they can't go in the boxing. That's why they can't have like boxing even exhibitions or anything like that.
Yeah. 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 No, I get it. I get it. But yeah, even speaking of people that jumping back onto the people that need to retire, do you think Emmett should retire?
I mean, it's difficult to say because although he did just get, sparked, I think he's still like competitive. Like Ilya, it went to a decision. Lerone Murphy went to a decision. Like he's still like in it with the best. I feel like he is like now the gatekeeper of the division. And like every once in a while somebody's gonna get through like Vallejos, but like I feel like he's the now like Michael Johnson, Neil Magny, like those guys,
Yeah.
Jeff Neal of his division.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to think that Emmett, if he's not going to retire, like you said, he should move down some. He's obviously and become kind of like a gatekeeper because even hitting on the knockout with Bryce, it's like when he lands and he does damage. That being said, Bryce is not a striker. Lerone Murphy's a striker. What is it? Kevin Vallejos is obviously a striker. Ilya is
Ilya,
a
I think, might
striker.
be a striker.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, right. When you look at Josh Emmett versus the strikers, I feel like he's starting to slow down a little bit, starting to get a little bit predictable, and that's where he is at his worst when he's fighting elite strikers. But I think he might be able to catch a little fucker coming in like a little guy, like fraud check someone. You know what I mean? Be a gatekeeper
Yeah.
for somebody that has experience. But yeah, I think the elite guys. I think Josh Emmett can't hang with him anymore. I think, like what you said, I think he needs to like just be the Hanato Morcano of this division, but striking.
Yeah.
Just make
Just give
money
him
and make
easy
like
fights,
knock
man.
people out.
Just give
Yeah,
him
dude,
easy fights.
give him the Michael Chiesa treatment.
Yeah.
But kind of jumping on the other end of things, we're talking about a loser there. Let's talk about a winner here. Jillian Robertson. I think Stoner might be one of the best bases for UFC. We're about to have two Stoner champions we're about to have two champions that would have been Stoners like Sean and her. Because I
Yeah.
do think that if she fights for the title, I think she does submit Mackenzie Dern.
Well, Mackenzie Dern's probably not going to be the champion. I think Whaley is coming back down. They're going to make that match probably beforehand. And obviously, I think Whaley is just leagues above leagues above
Dude,
Jillian, dude.
Yeah, that is true. I would. How old is Wei Li now? She's like 37.
I don't think she's in her 30s. I don't know if she's 37.
Um, See, so if Wei Li fights Dern, I could see Wei Li getting a knockout there.
She's 36, so you were close.
Yeah. I could see
Wait,
Wei
you think
Li.
she's gonna knock out Dern?
Well, I think Dern has very bad striking.
No, dude,
I don't
she's
like it
Jason
really.
Perillo's her boxing coach, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
that's cool.
She
That's
fell in
cool.
love with her striking, and that's why she was losing all the time. And then
Yeah,
she went back
exactly.
to grappling and started winning.
Yeah, I just think Wei Li, I think Wei Li is a different monster compared to most. Compared to like she is Wei Li is probably the best example of a female fighter I would show someone if I said, "Hey, this is the one of the best female fighters." I would show a video of her. You know what I mean? She is
Yeah.
composed. She takes damage very well. She is good everywhere. She strikes. She's the only person who won one fight twice, you know? And it's crazy. I think Wei Li is on another level, and she doesn't get the respect that she deserves. And I would not have been upset to see Mackenzie Dern and Zhang Wei Li on the White House card.
That'd be a weird matchup because they were
That would
trying to
have,
do
hey,
Americans and Whaley's Chinese and Mackenzie's Brazilian.
but for three title fights to make it one of the best cards of all time to compete with 300, that would have been crazy. And I would have been okay with that as a co-main.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's
do you
definitely
think
better
that?
than Al. It's better. It's better than the co-main now. Alex and
Yeah,
Khan. It's a
yeah. I
horrible
mean,
co-main.
history in the making. Alex is gonna knock out Gaunt in probably the second round. I would not
Okay.
be surprised, dude. I would not be surprised. But do you think that Jillian Robertson? Do you think that her next fight will be for a title?
She waits. Like I said, I think they'll do Dern versus Whaley, and then maybe give Jillian a title shot. But again, like she's not getting paid if she's not fighting. I could see her like fighting someone else.
Yeah,
And like you said before, they don't really care about your rankings when it comes to championship fights. They care about like the entertainment value. And I mean, this fight probably wasn't the best like, hey, give her a title shot
yeah.
type of fight. Like Lerone Murphy went out spinning elbowed what's his name and
And he
won
didn't even
one.
get one.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's in the
Yeah, he
number one
knocked out Aaron
contendership
Pico
fight.
with a spinning fucking
Yeah.
elbow.
But
Oh
his
my
fight before
god.
that was Emmett, and it was a decision, and it wasn't exciting. And they told him, like, God, do something exciting. He did something
Yeah,
exciting, didn't get the title shot. So they don't really care about your rankings. So
yeah.
I mean, she deserves it, I think, at this point. But I just don't think the UFC is going to go that way with it.
I think, I think that hopefully because Jillian, I think she honestly looked the best like physique this fight than she ever has. I think. I was looking at some of her older fights, and you can just tell she was in the best shape of her life in this fight. Um, the fear of Amanda Lemos like knocking you out is obviously real, and it's there. So she obviously had to take in consideration with that. Um, but no, I agree. I think that the UFC probably doesn't want to go in that direction with Jillian Robertson. But I do think that if it keeps going the way it's going, she'll end up balaling it and kind of just getting it by default. Because I
I can
don't
see
think that
that.
the people, yeah, I don't think about the people that are going to be fighting her are going to beat her. I think that her takedowns are pretty unique, and she is good on the ground. She's like a blanket. So I think that if she can pick up, if she can be a little bit more aggressive and chase submissions and chase finishes more, that will unlock the door to the title for her, you know? But yeah, I think the gold will look good with the red if she ends up fighting for the title. That'll look good. But I think
Yeah.
she loses against Wei Li, but I think she would beat Dern. Do you think she beats Dern?
Honestly, no, probably not.
You don't think so?
I think Dern is just a different kind of beast. Looking at like the rankings, you got John Aroba, the weird
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to be nice. He's got a lazy
John
eye.
Aroba.
Uh, yeah,
She sees the back of the
Tatiana
head shots.
Suarez, dude, like ahead of her, Yan Xiaonan. Like, I don't know, dude. I
These are all people that I'm afraid for her on the feet.
yeah,
These are not people that if Jillian gets into her world, she takes over every time.
I could see them maybe doing Dern and Whaley and then Ponderosa versus Jillian. I could see that fight happening.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Jillian wins. Jillian wins by like 29-28 decision there every time. I do think that the wrestling looks really good in the later rounds. Like the strikers, I'm the most nervous in the first like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then they start getting tired. And then the second round hits, then the third round hits. They only get worse as the fight goes on. So that's where like the wrestling gets so good for them. And that's kind of what I want to jump on too. If she does jump into a 5 round fight, what difference do you think? Do you think it's a huge difference, 3 to 5, like your first 5 round title fight? Like, do you think that there is a little bit of that in the like reason why some people lose? Just the big
Yeah,
difference in
definitely.
rounds. It's like almost damn
Because
near a
you
second fight.
yeah, you can train all you want for that, but until you actually experience it, it's like, doing live reps of like basketball. Like in practice, that's fine, but like you never know how the game's actually gonna go. Like you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what your opponent's gonna do. You don't know how much pressure. You don't know how tired you're gonna be wrestling. You don't know what injuries you're gonna go into the fight with. You're not
Yeah.
like you're training for the 5 rounds, but you're never gonna like the training is not gonna be what the fight's gonna be like.
Right. Right. Yeah. You
And
never
until
know
you
what's gonna happen.
experience, you don't know, like you don't know it until you experience it.
Honestly, I rewatched this the other day, and it could be one of the best like 5 round displays of discipline as a champion and waiting until the perfect time to kill. Dude, Alex versus Khalil.
Yeah.
Alex, dude, like
I watched that
Alex
the other day
waited.
too.
Dude, he got dropped by Khalil. Well, not dropped, like he kind of got hit off balance, I would say. Um, but Khalil had the lead going into that
Yeah.
round that he got finished, and Alex just waited, no composure, like a champion, dude. Just knew this is a 5 round fight. Once it gets in the championship rounds, he's not gonna be able to contain me, you know. And that's exactly what happened. And champions, I think, know that too. They know let them blow their load this first 3 rounds. These last 2 rounds are where I'm gonna get them. And that's and sometimes that does come to bite you in the ass. You see that with Sean Strickland, Izzy, you know,
Patty. Patty and
Patty,
Justin.
Patty and Justin, exactly. And that's also a thing. Like the way I see Justin in a crazy world beating Ilya is just with insane pressure, not giving
Yeah.
Ilya time to find the counter, because
And
what
same
he
pressure he did with
does.
Patty. Keep him on the back
Yeah.
foot the entire fight.
Yeah, and the other thing that he did against Patty was like these wild uppercuts out of nowhere. Justin throws these crazy uppercuts and just these wild shots. He gets real close to you too. So like I don't know. I could see if he does win, it's off some wild brawling knockout shit against Ilya. But yeah. Um, but kind of staying on to that like Jillian Robertson wrestling style. How do you feel about that when you watch that as a fan? Like Jillian, I don't mind watching because I do think she's active, but like Hamzat versus DDP was not a good fight to me. It was not fun to watch. Um,
No.
he just laid on him. But as a fan and stuff like that, as a hardcore, how do you kind of like how do you like to see wrestling incorporated?
Like if they're doing something with it, like like they say like takedowns shouldn't count if like you don't do anything with the takedown. I'm like of that mindset where if you're
Mm-hmm.
taking somebody down, it should be to advance position. Like I don't mind if you're holding somebody down and you're like going from side control to like try like half mount to like full mount, like you're trying to progress the position. but it's just
Yeah.
the people that are holding people down and like peppering them with like little shots just to stay
Yeah.
active enough to hold them down. Like Hamza, like he did like 600 strikes
Yeah.
and they were all just like little like 1 centimeter
Patty
apart
cakes,
hammer.
dude.
Yeah, dude, hammer fist. Like you're not doing any damage. It's you're just holding somebody down. And I get control time is like a big part of a fight, but at the same time, if you're controlling somebody and you're not doing anything, you're not like attempting any submissions, you're not doing any damage at all, and you're not trying to
Yeah.
do damage,
Volkov
I
Amida.
don't just stand them up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, because I would rather give the striker a better chance if like the wrestler's not doing anything than give it in the hands of the judges who could hopefully make the right decision and give it to the guy who's trying, like what they did with, was it Volkov and Almeida, right?
Yeah.
Or where Almeida did nothing, just held him, just laid on him the whole time, didn't advance, just kind of had full guard, kind of laying on him. And then Volkov's trying to finish him, get do stuff and everything, and they ended up giving it to Volkov because he deserved it. And I think that the only time where I think it's okay to lay and pray on someone is the last 30 seconds of a round to seal it. That's the only time. That's the only time. Any
Yeah, I
other
have no
time,
issues with that either, man. Just like 30 seconds left in a fight, blast double leg, take them down. That looks good. That
right?
could win you around.
Exactly.
But if
The
you're taking them
moment
down
Max
within the
points
first
down,
minute,
take him down.
if you're shooting the first minute of the fight and you're holding them down for 14 minutes of a 15-minute fight, it's like, come
Right. Yeah. And it's
do
like
something. It's a fight, not a wrestling match. I get
that's kind
wrestling
of
is a
like
big part of it, but
that's kind of what annoyed me about Hamza. Like,
yeah,
don't talk about this killer wrestler and then lay and tap him on the head. Like, come on. you know highlight some of the best, like the best wrestlers that you like to freaking watch. Like, I mean I know he's more jujitsu, but even Charles, he advances, everything's advancing. Let's be
yeah.
real. Ilya put fucking people in a crucifix. um
Peter Yan,
Habib, Piotr Yan, you got to hit on Habib. Even Marab, dude. Like Marab tries. He advances positions. Another
Henry,
person that Henry Cejudo, staying on the lower divisions. I love Pantoja. Pantoja
yeah.
goes for the finishes. Dude, Wei Lee, like, yeah. I think advancing position and definitely trying to finish the fight on the ground I love. I mean, dude, there's so many fights where if I know the fighters, I'm like, oh, they took him down. I'm gonna go take a piss. Like I know that when I come back, the position's gonna be the same. You know, let's be
Yeah.
real. Shout out to my boy Money Morcano. He's been really good. What he did to Benil Dariush on the ground, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and kind of staying on that and jumping on to the next topic we have here. Armin. Armin does good work, and he's. Do you think that he should fight for the title soon?
So, dude, I feel like we say stuff on this podcast, and although we don't
I
get many
know,
viewers, people hear it and then they say the same stuff. Because we were
dude.
talking
Out of our
about
11 views, Hunter Campbell has to be one of them.
because you asked me like, do you think that the UFC should like give him a title fight? And I said like, you got to be able to trust your champion and stuff. And like, him doing all this stuff outside, it doesn't like look
Yeah,
good. And then Dana comes on and he's like, yeah, we're just not happy with like stuff he's doing, and we got to be able to trust our champion. Dude,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think maybe if he slows down a little bit. I get why he's doing this stuff because like obviously he's not getting paid by the UFC. I think that's why he's on this like media tour right now and doing all these side projects. I don't think th're gonna give him a title shot. Dude, if he can make 145, I would love to see him fight Volk for
Oh
the
my,
for the championship. That'd be
he would
so better.
destroy. I think
But
he
I
would.
think Ilya right now, that trajectory is he's probably gonna beat Justin, and then I think he's gonna fight Islam. I don't know if that's at 170, but if it's at 170, they might strip him and then maybe do like an Armin versus like Charles for an interim. But then again, Charles apparently like they're like Charles is up next. Like so I just don't see it. I think the lightweight division's too top heavy. And if he is able to make 145, he should go to featherweight because I think he'd have a lot better of a shot at featherweight getting a title shot versus lightweight right now.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very, very hard weight cut for him. Um, like what you said, if he can make the 145, that's great. You know, if he can do that, that'd be great. I think what sucks for Armin, dude, is that no matter what champion in what weight class he is, he wants that Islam fight so bad. He wants that fight. And this is another thing I want to ask you. It Armin, because I watched this video, and I forget what video it was, but it did a thing. It was like why the UFC is shading Armin or something, and it was really good. And the guy made a really good point. He said like Armin is really good. Let's be real. Like he is really good. How good is someone who is like broke and then grows up and like training and stuff and then like becomes a champion versus Armin who's like rich as hell and has always had the best training equipment. Like I know he used to be he wanted to be a hockey player and then he transitioned to MMA and stuff. But like it's almost like he has everything he ever wanted, right? Like it's not like money wise and like finances and stuff. And he's not chasing money, he's just chasing greatness. Do you think that like says anything about Armin? Like it's just I think that the UFC kind of like I think that he deserves it. I think that he should fight for the belt. I think that Armin like he's kind of accepted his dues of like all right, I fucking I whatever back issue, missed weight, whatever with the Islam fight. And Dana obviously does not like him, like does not like him at all. And giving him Dan Hooker, which is it's so hard because Dan Hooker you can't even say is a title worthy win.
No.
But I think Armin deserves it, but he doesn't have the resume for it.
Yeah, I think there's a marketing that you could do behind that because like you said, he does have everything and like this is like what he's choosing to do. Like he doesn't have to fight. He wants to fight. He wants to be the champion. Like it's something that like they can market as like it's something he can't buy, you know. You can't buy the championship. You have to earn it. And like this is like the one thing in his life that he can actually earn.
Yeah.
And like they're just not giving him an opportunity to do it.
Yeah, right. It's just crazy because it's like this would never have happened if he probably would have told the UFC like a week in advance I can't fight. It's like, dude, you told him the
Yeah.
day of. It's like,
I just
come
dude,
on.
it's just him pulling out of that fight because of his back, and then like a month later, like doing the neck thing where he's like on his neck, like spinning around in a circle. And it's like,
Yeah,
how hurt is your back, dude? Maybe your
yeah,
back's hurt because you're doing that. Like,
yeah.
geez Louise.
To be fair, that dude, that move, that whatever he does right there is the way to get out of pretty much every choke. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does, dude. He just goes like this and then like spins on top of people. But dude, I still and I rewatched this fight the other day. I still get goosebumps of how he got out of Charles Dars or Charles's what is it? Can't even
Guillotine.
think. Yeah, his guillotine. It's like that thing was so deep. But that's the thing to tell you. It's like Armin really wants it, bro. Like he could have tapped at any moment there and he still would have
Yeah.
had millions, you know? It just, I think that Armin deserves it. I think there's something to be said about how much Dana doesn't like him. It's
Yeah.
very
I mean
rare.
his pro debut was against Islam and he lost it. I think like they could market his fight against Islam so much better too. Like
Yeah.
not just the, this is the only thing that he can't buy in his in the world, like he has to earn it. But then like
Right.
the fact that like he fought Islam in his pro
Avenge his
debut
only
and
loss.
lost. Yeah. I could like I like Armin just because like I mean obviously I didn't really know much about him before he started like going and being more like public about everything. He's a pretty funny guy. pretty likable. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand why they're not marketing him. It's almost like the
dude.
Tom situation where like Tom's likable, he's funny, and they just don't care about him.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, and I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound like a bandwagon, but I'll say it because who gives a shit. Um, I did not like Armin. Like when the Islam fight got announced, I was like, oh, Armin. Like I don't like Armin, just because I didn't know him. But now that
Yeah.
I know him, bro, he is so like just funny and like he's just so like just a dude. Like he just eats food and like just like it's just funny. Um, and he's so young, bro. He's like 26.
You know what the
Like
craziest thing is, dude? He's getting the Nina drama bump, and like he's still not one of Dana's favorites,
that's
dude.
what I'm
It's
saying. He's getting
weird.
the Nina drama bump, the Aiden Ross bump,
Yeah.
the it's like he's doing everything outside the UFC that he can do to get the championship belt, but just not getting it because this is what everyone does like before they get the belt or like when the fight gets announced. It's like it's just crazy, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's like Islam because I don't know, Islam versus him. I don't know who would win that. That's such a 50-50 to me, dude. Because
Yeah.
I don't think Islam finishes him, and dude, I see Armin finishing Islam before Islam finishes Armin.
I could see that too. You know what's crazy? Going back to Armin, Georgian Russian, dude.
Yeah, yo, it's literally
Ilya's
the
Georgian,
best,
Murav's
dude.
Georgian.
It's
Like
literally the
what is
best
with
base,
Georgia right now,
everything,
dude?
bro. Yeah,
Just
and
being
they're
from Georgia.
everywhere. It's like it's crazy. But then again, there will be like there was that rave of there's just waves, you know what I mean? Like waves of champions. So sooner than later, it'll be like, watch, there'll be that in like 10 years, it'll be all Chinese. Wei Li will still be a champion.
Yeah, maybe.
but
Could
but no,
happen.
yeah, no, I mean it's crazy. Armin, I hope Armin gets a title fight. That would have been, dude, how crazy would it have been if it would have been like Armin's like surprise goes up to 170 and fights fucking Islam? That'd be crazy.
Dude, that might he might have a better shot, honestly. I don't think he's getting a shot at 155. He needs
Yeah,
to
I
either
don't think he's
go
getting a
down
shot
or
at
go up.
155. Here, honestly, what they could do is the only fight that I think makes sense for him right now at 155 because he needs a fight, but he would never be ready for it. He should fight Patty, but
I was gonna say that too, yeah.
Patty's not gonna be ready for like 6 months at least, like to start
They're
training.
they're gonna do Patty versus Dan Hooker, dude, and then give Patty a title shot. Or he beats Dan
Yeah,
Hooker.
yo, you know it. It's the UFC is like a recycling logo. It's like they have the same few people are gonna be like fighting for the belt. It's like a round robin every time. Um,
Yeah.
but what are you gonna do? Who knows? Maybe Michael Chandler will get a title shot next. But yeah, let's talk about let's talk about the something else. Let's talk about the Sean Strickland versus Hamzat Chimaev. Oh, I'm getting the card here. Events upcoming. Yeah, Sean Strickland and Hamzat Chimaev got announced a few days ago. And Ken, what are your early thoughts on this matchup between Sean Strickland and Hamzat Chimaev?
It just depends, dude. Is it gonna be Hamzat just holding Sean down the entire time? I know people say Sean has good wrestling, good wrestling defense, but I it's a different type of wrestling. And I don't know, when Hamzat goes up against like mainly striking like opponent, it's not it doesn't go well for them. I mean, technically when he goes up against anybody, it doesn't end well for them, but especially strikers and people that like mainly are focused on striking. I I really want Sean to win. I want Sean to catch him, do something like knee him in the face when he goes in for a takedown, something like that. Teep him. I don't know, but I just feel like Hamzat's gonna win, and especially with like all the all the stuff Sean's saying, like it's just gonna piss Hamzat off even more. And I don't think you need to piss him off. I
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sad day when Sean gets wrestled for 25 minutes and loses, and then
Right.
says, "You know what, guys? This guy's a good guy. I know I said he likes fucking goats and all this stuff, but
It's a
he's a
Chechnyan
good guy.
whore.
He's a family man."
Yeah. Yeah, he only says that if he wins. Um, no, but I I don't know why, but I keep having this feeling of we've seen Sean get taken down. We've never seen Sean get held down. Um,
He doesn't really fight.
Sean,
Well,
well,
he
when he
doesn't really
fought,
fight wrestlers.
but when he does, if he does get taken down, Sean also has a very good like getting up. You know what I mean? Like he's good at getting up. The other thing I want to say is over the last 2 years, just through social media like X, Instagram, and things like that. Because I've been watching UFC pretty hardcore since Usman and Masvidal too with my boy Ken, and it's been a while. I feel like over the last 2 years, I've seen Sean the most in a singlet than I ever have. Um, I feel like he's wrestled the most in camp. Uh, I think when I ask you what strikes does Sean throw, right? We would say the jab and the teep kick. Okay, two great strikes for wrestlers because it keeps the distance off of you and things like that. Also, if Sean can get that teep kick going, it opens up the strikes, the head kicks, because if he can like feint a teep kick, then you know Hamzat being a wrestler, he's gonna want to go for that leg. He'll probably go down. That's that because that's kind of what how he. I was watching a video on how he was getting her Hernandez, right? How we got Hernandez. He was teeping him, and then instead of teeping, he would feint the teep, and then the moment that he would drop his arm, he would go for the strike to the head. Um, I could see that being kind of a game plan, going to the body and then getting Hamzat to come down. And this is another question I want to ask you. The other way that I could see Sean winning is gas tank. I could see Sean bringing this into the later rounds, striking and keeping it standing because a wrestler can keep his gas tank wrestling for 5 rounds. A wrestler is it's hard to keep their gas tank up when they're getting hit for 5 rounds and they're not getting their takedowns and things like that. Do you think that Hamzat will have a different gas tank or a better gas tank than he did, I would say, against Gilbert Burns and even Usman? Because I would say the DDP fight, he didn't really have to show his gas tank. He kind of blanketed him the whole time.
I honestly feel like that's gonna be what happens to Sean. I think, dude, like you're saying, keep him at distance with the teeps and stuff and the jabs, but like when you have Hamza just sprinting full speed at you, and if he gets a hold of you, dude, like the teep, he's gonna run through a teep, he's gonna run through a jab.
This is
He's
true.
gonna he's gonna literally do like the fake glove touch that he did against Kevin Holland, and then just take him down and alligator roll him until he submits him. I I just don't see a world where Sean can keep the distance and can land like enough strikes for that to even be part of a game plan. I'm sure that's a great game plan, honestly. Like, do that definitely, but I just don't think Hamzat's gonna be as tentative as like a Fluffy, where he can keep him at distance. I think that he's more aggressive, especially when it comes towards the wrestling. And I don't know if Sean's fought a wrestler of that caliber. Like he did good against DDP, but look what Hamzat did against DDP. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how good DDP's defensive wrestling is, but like Sean was able to like, stand up multiple times from DDP's takedowns. I think Hamzat's wrestling is on a different level, and like although I hate to say it, I think it will be a blanket for 25 minutes,
Yeah.
and he's gonna win that way.
Yeah, I can't say Hamzat has technical wrestling. It's scary wrestling. It's like, dude, he's gonna maul you. Um, Sean, I could honestly see a world where Sean accepts the takedowns and just like takes the first 2 rounds to like not takes them, but accepts that this is where I'm gonna be right now, and then we don't see Sean fully come out like and fully striking until round 3 or 4 or 5, like those rounds. Um, but like you said, if Hamzat wins, I see this being a blanket victory. I think that Sean does pose threats on the feet because he is throwing a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more power shots. He was landing a few overhands on Hernandez that were hurting him bad. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna say Sean because I want my heart to win, but my brain obviously is saying Hamzat. But I'm
I
gonna put
could see
money on
this
Sean.
being I could see this being like Max and Charles, like that fight, that
Yeah,
type of fight where it's just like a master class, just a dominating performance, and like there's just nothing Sean can do. He's just gonna be
I
stuck on the bottom the
I
entire
guess
time.
this I guess this will really be the showcase of like the test. How good is Sean's wrestling? We've never seen it ever. Let's see it. Everyone says that it's good. I mean, dude, how much you listen to BYM, anytime that this fight is going to be brought up, I guarantee you Bisping's going to talk about how sneaky good Sean's wrestling is because they train together and Bisping always says how good his wrestling is. I want to see that. I
Yeah,
do.
dude.
Sean doesn't wrestle people, but I want to see him stop Hamzat. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
just
Like,
like how good Justin's wrestling is, you know. Justin Gaethje,
yeah,
amazing wrestler, dude. Never seen it. Never,
yeah,
no,
never,
never seen
bro,
it.
never, bro. It's crazy, and what like I will literally, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna put Bo Nickel versus Renier de Ritter up on the TV, and I'm gonna pray to it that happens. That Hamzat comes in and tries to get a body lock on him, and then out of nowhere, Sean throws a body knee and it hurts Hamzat. That's what I'm praying for. Although I think Sean wins. If he does win, I do see him winning. Like I could see him like evolving winning it, like overpower striking him if the gas tank goes for Hamzat.
I feel like Sean's only chance of winning is a finish.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, because I think that the only time that he will probably be able to win is a gas tank where Hamzat got all the rounds he needed already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but that kind of goes into what we were talking about last week and the week before. This is what we needed as fight fans. Dude, the press conference is gonna be insane.
It was gonna
And
be a good
like
press conference.
and I really hope, because you do have duds. You have duds as fighters. Let's hope that even if Hamzat does win, it is like an insane, you know what I mean? Like a pretty good, fun victory. I don't want Sean to get hurt, but dude, I'll say I didn't want Alex to get knocked out, but when Izzy knocked out Alex, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. But it's always good to see some wild shit happen. But yeah, kind of just we're gonna end on the we're gonna talk a little bit about the UFC
Before
fights
we
that
get
were
to that,
announced.
before
Yeah.
we get to that, what, dude? What'd you think about Rahiki and Hardwick, dude?
Oh,
That was
dude, yeah, I
probably
do want to talk
dude.
about
That was
that.
fight of the night, dude. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. It sucks because it's like Harry Hardwick should not be in the UFC.
No, no, he
Like,
should. He's too tough for his own good. He was cracking
no,
Rahiki
listen,
too.
just listen to me. He should not be in the UFC for his own good.
Okay, okay. I was about to say, dude, he's too tough for his
No,
own
listen,
good.
dude, he is a fan's dream, bro. Like, he reminds me of uh who is it? There's another guy just like that. But like the amount of damage that people can just take and like keep coming forward, it is
Chris Matino.
insane.
Is that
Yeah, Chris Matino. He takes damage, and even like remember when Marlon Vera got kneed by Sean, that just came
yeah.
to my brain. But like the amount of damage that some people can take and just not like get knocked out, it's wild. Like just crazy. What's the most damage that you think you've ever seen? Like when I say damage, what's the first fight that comes to your head?
So like it's either there's a few that come to my head. I think of Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, where mid fight he has to show Brian how to block punches. I
Oh
think
yeah.
of uh Alex Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie, where his face it was a like standing TKO.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
ref just called it because he was taking so much damage. Sean O'Malley versus Chris Matino, like he literally same thing. He was just getting pieced up, but the ref had to step in, just say, "Hey,
Yeah.
fight's over." Because like at a certain point, like the ref has to protect the fighter, and if the fighter's just getting dominated, like like those are the main fights that I think of whenever I think of something like this happening. What about you? What fights come to your
Um,
mind?
there's two fights that come to my mind. There's a fight I bet on like a few years ago. I forget who fought in it. It was some Indian guy, and then this little guy who the Indian guy was whooping this dude's ass. And
What
then
promotion was this in?
this was UFC. This was UFC. It was Anshan Jubilee. It was Anshan Jubilee.
Okay.
He was fighting someone, and the guy who was fighting, he was whooping his ass, right? And then in the after the second round, they cut to his corner. His eyelid is falling off. Like he got cut from an elbow, and he
Oh
was like
Jesus.
jabbing it so much that like his like this corner of the eye was like falling off, right? But he came back and won in the third round. He was barking at him. He was going to this to Jubilee. He was going, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo," and he knocked out Jubilee. But that one comes to mind because his eyelid was falling off. That one always is crazy. And then the other one that always comes to my mind is that one girl from UFC 300 that damn near her whole forehead got cut, and it was like a deep gash. And then
Irene
always,
Aldana?
yeah, Irene Aldana. And then I always think of uh Joanna, when Joanna's head got like,
Yeah.
dude, she had the hematoma look. She looked like Megamind. It was terrible. It was terrible. But no, we I wanted to also hop on and just talk about, because the UFC announced some crazy fights coming up. And I just wanted to hear, Ken, so what are some of the fights that you're really excited to see that they announced that are coming up? We'll end on this.
I mean, the main fight that I am actually looking forward to is the Michael Chandler fight coming up. That's gonna be a good one.
Oh, by Mauricio Ruffy. Dude,
Yeah.
I think the fight that I'm most excited for to watch as a fan, because I think there's fireworks, sneaky fireworks. Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates.
That
That
would
one's
be a good
sneaky.
fight.
And then we got our boys, Davy Grant. He's back. Davy Grant's fighting Juan Adrian something. I have it here. Juan Ad or never mind. We don't know his name. But oh, and then Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley, they're fighting. That's gonna be that should be a good one, dude. I feel bad for Sean Brady, bro. I feel bad
Why?
because I feel like I just feel bad for him, man. Because I feel like he lost his last fight, but I feel like he he's title worthy. Not yet, but in the future, I like him.
I
Um.
honestly think UFC 327, like that whole card, I'm excited for Yuri and Alberg, Van and
Oh,
Tyra,
dude. Yeah,
Hokit and Curtis Blades. That's
Josh
a
Hokit,
that's a
bro.
Johnny
Dude,
Walker, Dominic Reyes.
yeah, I'm betting that fight under 30 seconds.
Nah, dude, I
Crazy.
think Yuri. I can't wait to see Yuri as a champion again. That's gonna be
I'm
great.
so excited. Dude, you know why? Because I think there's a few times where this happens, where the MMA gods bless us, you know?
Yeah,
And I think this is going to be one of these times where they reward the samurai. Yuri has been finished by Alex twice, and he bounced back after he knocked out Jamal Hill after losing. It's like there's a few fighters that I actually like. I'd probably cry if Yuri wins. You know, like,
yeah,
dude, Yuri, like, let's go for that. Like I
yeah.
am so excited for him. Carlos Ulberg is scary. He is a scary striker, and we'll obviously get more into this fight when it gets closer. But right now, I do think that Yuri will put too much onto him later in the fight. I think that I'm the most scared for Yuri the first 2 rounds because this motherfucker does some crazy shit. He leaves his chin wide open, but
Yeah, he does. He like
but
fucking like moves into punches. He like sees somebody
dude,
throw a punch and he's like, "Ugh, I need to get
dude,
hit."
he throws flying knees and his hands are like completely down.
Yeah. Him and
But
Khalil, dude, that fight was crazy. He was getting
dude,
pieced by
I
Khalil. And then
I
he
I
comes
had
back and
Khalil by
wins.
decision on a bet slip, but I Yuri is one of the fighters that you can never bet against because even if he gets flatline KO'd at the end of a round, he still has a chance in the next one. Like
Yeah,
he's so
dude. Especially
wild.
if like, he gets like KO'd and then like the round ends and then he stands up and then you got the 1 minute and then he comes out and then Alex head kicks him
Yeah.
and knocks him out and like 20 seconds into the next
Yeah.
round. Like, those are great moments, dude, for Yuri.
Those are learning lessons, bro.
Oh yeah,
Those are
yeah.
learning lessons. But the last thing I want to say about Yuri, Yuri could also be one of the best string strikers I've ever seen. When he like finishes a strike and then puts something after it, I always think of the elbow against Dominic Reyes. Like for that to because that wasn't he. There's no way he was thinking that because he had to have missed a strike for him to have that come after it. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. Like he'll throw a hook to a flying knee. It's like what? It's crazy. But but yeah, guys, we just wanted to hop on. We wanted to talk a little bit about the fights that happened this weekend. Jump on and talk about some news. Um, I want to let everyone know we will be getting onto a better recording schedule. Me and Ken, we've agreed to start recording on earlier times because later with my new job and stuff, the later times are murdering me. But yes, we will get a better schedule. That will get figured out sooner than later. Um, but yeah, guys, we just wanted to hop on, talk a little bit about the UFC and things. Ken, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
No, that's everything. We're gonna be better at recording on time and getting these podcasts that all our millions of listeners are waiting for out. We missed 2 weeks. I was getting emails, I was getting notifications out the
I
ass.
know.
Like, where's
Ken's
the
boss is
pod?
literally like trying to get
Where's
him
the
to work
podcast?
more, and he needs
Where's
a
the
reason to not
podcast?
work, bro.
Yeah,
Listen,
this is the
yes,
reason.
yes, yes. This is my birthday weekend, and my only birthday wish was to get a better podcast schedule, and that's what we're doing. We're gonna get that. All right, guys. Hey, we will see you guys sooner than later. We'll be back. We're gonna record. What do you want to do Friday? We'll record Friday, and then we'll be
Of
back
course.
probably Friday night. We'll see you guys.